We also have Mr. Sushant Sareen on the broadcast with us. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Sareen, what are your expectations from the meeting that's underway? India and the United States strategic partners, as Shinjoy was also just pointing out, Joe Biden has also hailed it as a most important partnership of the decade.
I think these are very important meetings. And my own sense is that these meetings are part of the preparations for the Prime Minister's visit to Washington later in the year. I think it's next month. And I think it's because of that these meetings are now taking place, so that the outcomes of the summit meeting between the Prime Minister and the President, can be prepared in advance. And there are some fairly big-ticket items which are on the agenda. And probably they are smoothing out the rough edges on some of those deals which are being worked out. For example, in defense equipment, engines, stuff like that. And even otherwise, I think given the situation in the region and the kind of belligerence that is coming from the Chinese side, a closer coordination between the Indians and the Americans is probably the need of the hour.
Right. And, the significance of the visit also because the Congressional Committee has also recommended strengthening NATO Plus by including India. So that conversation also came in just ahead of Prime Minister Modi's visit to the United States.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure if India is ready as yet to get into some kind of a alliance arrangement of the NATO Plus kind of stuff which is being spoken about. I think there would be some reservations in India on that. It kind of constricts our ability to maneuver in this space. It's one thing for the Americans to, operate in the world in separate silos, but quite different for India to be able to do it, especially if you get into an alliance arrangement of the NATO kind. So I don't think we are likely to go that side, but perhaps a new arrangement can be worked out which allows us sufficient flexibility in some of the other areas and regions, which might be at divergence with what the Americans want to do. And frankly, this is the way the world politics operates. For example, the Americans, when they were in Afghanistan, they would always tell us that we have only 5% convergence with India as far as west of India is concerned, but 95% east of India. So let's build on the 95% east of India and take it to 100%. Some of the other regions, we can decide that we'll agree to disagree.
All right.
But we will not be able to do it if we are in a NATO Plus arrangement. Or at least our ability to do that will get quite constricted if we are in such an arrangement.
All right. In the wake of the aggression from the Chinese side, do you see this as a new era of the partnership between India and the United States? Because we've had back-to-back bilateral meetings that have taken place. Now the Defense Secretary and the Defense Ministers meeting. Later this month, Prime Minister Modi also headed to the United States.
No, I think I think both sides will deny that, China is the elephant in the room. But clearly China is. And the Chinese belligerence is not helping matters. The Chinese aggression along these oceans as well as on the land boundaries is not helping matters. Their wolf warrior diplomacy is not helping matters. The obnoxiousness of their ministers in international forums is not helping matters. Their policies are not helping matters. So clearly, yes, there will be a focus on China. I don't think everybody will accept it publicly, but that is the main issue on the table right now.
Okay, all right. Mr. Sareen, thank you for joining us with your expertise on the matter.